Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my video. Alright, so we are going to be talking about this P0700 code. If you guys are getting that code, you guys probably have a check engine light on and your transmission is probably having issues shifting or is probably having hard shifting, etc, etc. Alright, so we're gonna go in depth on what this P0700 code means and basically the symptoms, how you can fix it, ways in which you can fix it. All right, because this code is could be very severe, or it could be something, maybe a sensor that's causing it. So here's the deal with this. The P0700 code pretty much indicates that there is a problem with the car's transmission control module. It's called the PCM in short. Essentially, the TCM is the transmission's computer. The transmission has a separate computer of its own, and what it does, it pretty much monitors your transmission, and it works with the powertrain control module and engine control module, the PCM and the ECM, to shift the gears when it needs to, and it is an integral part of modern day automatic transmission systems. So if your TCM, which is your transmission control module, if that's not working right, you can experience a couple of things. One of them is a drop in gas mileage, as well as problematic shifting, rough or erratic shifting. And obviously, these are major concerns for you if you have this issue. So this could be an expensive issue, and it could also be a safety issue, because in some cases a bad TCM, or you have a check engine light for this code for the TCM, it could suddenly put the car to a complete stop, and or it could get stuck in a certain gear. It could get stuck in fifth gear on the highway, and you wouldn't be able to downshift it. And this is why this P0700 code is a severe error code. So here are the common causes of this code, and there are many, but here are the most common causes. All right, if you guys have low or dirty transmission fluid, your transmission needs cleaning. If you guys have this problem, it could trip up this code, low or dirty transmission fluid. What you want to do is, the transmission obviously needs a certain amount of fluid to work properly, to be lubricated, and low or dirty fluid can cause your transmission to overheat, and that would result in friction between the moving parts of the transmission. Another thing that could cause it is faulty wiring. You guys could have a short circuit, or corroded or broken wire can prevent your TCM from communicating with other car computer, other portions of the car's computers, leading in these fault error codes. Or you guys could have a dirty or failed TCM, and if you guys have that issue where the TCM itself is malfunctioning, or have some corrosion within the TCM itself, this would, in a lot of cases, this would require the replacing of the TCM. So so besides getting the P0700 code, here are some of the symptoms that are associated with a TCM. However, if you do have an OBD2 reader, it will show up on the OBD2 scanner that you guys have an issue. But here's the other symptoms of it. All right, your check engine light obviously is going to be on. you have rough or erratic shifting. The car only runs in 2 gears, and your fuel economy could be it could just lower, could just drop for no apparent reason. So basically, here's how you would diagnose the P0700 code. So it's usually best for normally in this situation, what you guys want to do is the P0700 code has obviously is a transmission code, and if you guys know anything about car repairs, the transmission is one of the more complicated things in the car to diagnose, and not only that, but it's expensive. So in this situation, what you guys want to do is you guys want to go with the easiest and cheapest way to diagnose it. And the first is obviously dirty or low transmission fluid. All right, you guys want to tackle that first. You guys want to check your transmission fluid to see whether it's dirty or low. If it's low, you want to fill it up. If it's dirty, obviously you might want to change it. And transmission fluid is cheap. Changing it out is relatively cheap. And in a lot of cars, you guys can DIY that. But dirty or low transmission fluid can affect your transmission's temperature and performance, leading to issues with the TCM. All right, so what you want to do is obviously in some cars there, you guys aren't able to check the transmission fluid. I believe BMWs and Mercedes-Benzes, they might have a digital gauge for you guys to check it. But but clean transmission fluid should be red. All right, if your fluid is dirty, you might want to flush your transmission and fill it up with fresh fluid. If your fluid is low but it's still red, you might just want to top it off. So that's pretty much the easiest way to go. But in cases where everything is normal with your transmission fluid and you don't see any issues, which could be the case in a lot of cases because there could be other things causing your TCM P0700 issue, the next thing you want to do is check your the wiring for your TCM. And that's a little bit more complicated because you might have to use a multimeter. But if you want to DIY it, definitely figure out where your TCM is. Most of the time it's under the hood and it's clear where it is. You just want to make sure that you don't have any burnt wires. You want to make sure that that it's connected to the TCM and it's not loose in any way. All right. Now, those are the two easiest ways as far as figuring what it is. If you guys do get a separate code with the P0700 code, if you guys do get a separate code with that, sometimes it's the speed sensor or whatever, that could be the problem that's causing it. But let's move on to common mistakes when people try to diagnose this issue, because it's not a clear-cut issue to diagnose unless you guys have like a separate code with it. So the most common mistake when diagnosing the symptoms of a P0700 code is misidentifying a problem as a mechanic issue with the transmission itself. Transmission repairs are expensive, and obviously they're a lot more expensive than just replacing the computer. So you don't want to just go and just get a brand new transmission just because of that. You really want to just try to figure out what the cheapest, easiest fix is, and then just move on after that. So if you suspect that your TCM is causing your car's problem, you want to get a OBD2 scanner and scan it and see what codes come up. All right, and another common mistake is failing to check the wiring harness. And like I said before, the wiring harness, sometimes it'll be loose or whatever, and that could cause a multitude of issues. All right. So, so just to reiterate this, and I know you guys, just to reiterate this, all right. I know you guys want an easy fix for this, but there are so many components that are connected to the car's ECM, and which includes the car's main computer, speed sensors, just a lot of other components. But here are the 3 possible solutions, and I'm just going to repeat this because we already went about this. But you want to top off or replace the transmission fluid. All right, you want to repair or replace the wiring harness. In most cases, you're not going to be able to do DIYs yourself, trying to figure out with a multimeter how to figure out whether the TCM is having issues or not. But you want to look at the wiring, just to make sure that the wiring is not loose or whatever, and it is. You want to try to plug it in or push it in, and then try to see if that issue goes away. And in the last resort, as far as simple fix is concerned, you want to maybe replace the TCM, see if that's the issue. It's a lot less expensive than replacing the transmission or having somebody work on your transmission, etc., etc. But just to finish this off, if you guys get that P0700 code with another code, like if it's a speed sense, or let me see, if it's you get a P0700 code and there's another code that comes up, that other code may give you a major insight in what you need to change as far as fixing the issue, and that might be like the easiest diagnosis that you will get. So an OBD2 scanner is your friend in many cases, but especially in this case. All right. So so if you guys have any personal experience with this, definitely leave a comment in the comments section. We'd really like to hear from you guys as far as what your experience with this is concerned, any fixes that you guys could help other people out with. Please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, all those good things. All right guys, take care.